Oh, there we go. That might help, wouldn't it? If I put myself in the damn live. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello. Can you hear me and see me okay? Is my first question. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. Let me just do that while I'm checking my back end stuff, make sure that it's all good. So how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? A lot of people are feeling very tired. They're feeling very drained. I don't know whether that's because the kids being off or whether that's just because it's just feeling very like, oh, like the heat maybe. Or maybe you've just had a lot of rain and you're like, yeah, I'm done with the rain. For us, way down in the south, Bournemouth way, UK, it's just like we need rain. We really need some rain, because if we don't get rain, I don't know what's going to happen, because literally all the grass is dead. Plants are just like it's just looking like really, really, really very dry. Jenny says, yeah, I'm really tired. I was on holiday last week and not long back, and it's much colder. Yes. Where did you go? Ria says, I'm actually feeling super motivated after weeks of stress. Yes. Breacher says, yes to both. Awesome. Thank you very much. Very tired indeed. Yes. I don't know whether that is because the kids are off. I don't know. I do have a lot of friends who I say a lot of friends. I do have friends who have kids, and it's just like they're just like, okay. Not posting enough because no idea what to post. Don't worry, we're going to be getting into all the social media stuff. So actually, that makes a nice segue. Let me know in the comments, how are you feeling about social media these days? I know obviously with the kids being off that sometimes that can be derailed anyway, but kind of like let me know from the beginning of the year until now, how have you kind of felt about socials? Like, how have you been consistent? Have you been feeling good about it? How has just the whole social media thing been going for you? That's the first question, and then I've got a follow-up question for you. I'm feeling good about to drop a new product range. Awesome. In Scotland, we've been off for a while, and we'll be going back in a few weeks. See, lots of people would be putting like a yay excited face when the kids go back. Yeah, I know, like a lot of people are just like, oh my god, like no. See, the kids have only just gone off for us. And I think actually you guys up in Scotland have probably got it better, because you get the nicer weather where it's not so hot that you can't do anything. Not doing enough. New business haven't started yet. Not active and demotivated. Oh, you work in a school, so that's with the sad face. I get it now. Okay. I was like, oh, a lot of people are like, please, like, let them go back to school. Let's have a structure. Let's like, yeah. Catherine says, meh. It's up and down, but still not enough visibility. I'm back in avoidance mode with socials. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. Breacher says, I find it harder and harder to keep consistent with posting without seeing much engagement. Yes. So I guess how many of you, my follow-up question is, how many of you are motivated because of results? So I guess a better way to word that is, how many of you are not motivated to carry on with the whole socials thing because you're not seeing results, you're not seeing any comments, you're not seeing any engagement? Like, you should be doing it, and it's good for your business, and that it's a good idea to carry on with it, but in the back of your head you're like, I know I'm going to post this and I'm not going to see anything at all. Now, don't forget, that's not necessarily, getting orders, because as we know, each social media post has a singular goal, whether that's to nurture people or whether that's to bring new people in. You can't have a post that does both. It just doesn't work. And if you are expecting your social media post to get you orders, get you like followers in, to get engagement, you're fighting a losing battle. I'm just going to give you that piece of advice straight off the bat, because socials is such a complicated, interwoven web of stuff that for one post to do everything, it's just impossible. Alrighty, Roo. Loads of people are like, I'm tired. Gillian says it's me. It's hard with very or little no. It's very hard with little to no response. Got lots of hands up. Still clueless and mess since the summer has hit. I haven't been active in a while all summer. Yeah, because that's the other thing as well, is that the algorithms now, they will basically kind of almost punish you if you've not been active for a long time. They will kind of go, oh, okay, well, that account is not really doing anything. I know when I've tested before, I've got a lip balm in my pocket. Hang on, it's really like annoying me. When I have kind of like gone on a bit of a hiatus away from posting, literally my views and my engagement within 2 weeks have just completely dropped. And then when you start posting again, it's like you're starting again, which is stressful. It's really stressful because you feel this pressure to always have to post and to always have to post good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flash this up on screen right now, because it is 2 weeks, or rather 13 days, 23 hours, 48 minutes and 37 seconds until we start the Fix Your Socials week, which is a completely free thing, by the way. It's not paid at all, but basically it's going to be a very chill kind of Fix Your Socials week is what we're kind of talking about. And all of these trainings, so each day we have one thing that we're going to fix. All of the trainings are pre-recorded, so there's no live. You don't have to show up. You don't have that pressure of being like, oh, I must do it live. And here we go. They will be taken down on the 21st of August. We get started on the 11th. I'm going to be going live at 1 p.m. on both the Mondays, on the 11th and on the 18th. Let me just grab the link. So if you are watching on Instagram, if socials has been hard, if you drop the phrase fix my socials, I will send you a nice little automatic message with all the details and stuff that you need. If you're watching on the Facebook group, however, I will pop the link in there for you. So that is basically, in essence, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making your socials more efficient, making sure that you're getting those results that is actually going to be motivating you to carry on doing it. Okay, because it's not something that I can help you to fix in one live, in 1 hour, in one thing. Socials is such a big topic, and basically we're going to be teaching you how to market, but also how to market in a way that is going to please the social media gods, right? So I just wanted to just pop that up quick, because I know that for a lot of you here, you're like, socials is just hard work, man. I just don't even know where to start. It's finding time to do it all. And the thing is that when you are trying to do it all, when you are trying to, get everything sorted out, it can feel like you're spending like an hour doing one post, which is, I guess, the whole feeling of not enough time to really do it all. 2 seconds, guys. Sorry. I've got I need to get my husband out here because the cat is next door. Right. So the next thing that I really want to talk about is the fact that, I mean, how many of you really feel like you need to be a social media expert to do the social thing? Like, you probably see tons of people online that are talking about having to do better this, having to have better that, having to do this, having to do that, and you're almost feeling like, okay, I have to be a social media expert to be able to like keep up with it all, right? So there's two kind of sections to this that I really wanted to cover today, okay? Because in the Facebook group, like the pop-up Facebook group that we have for the Fix Your Socials week, we have loads of people in there leaving comments on posts and just kind of really picking up on this vibe of like, I'm feeling like I have to be some kind of social media expert and blah 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 blah. So the first thing is that clear content beats clever content every single time. And I have some notes here, some bullet points to keep me on track. But the big one that I've written here is clear content beats clever content every single time. So you don't have to be some kind of social media expert and being all clever and like, ooh, yeah. you don't have to be doing that, because the clearer and more confident you can be with an actual reason as to why you're posting that particular piece of content, what it's for, what it's going to do for you, the better and less confused your target audience are going to be, because we know a confused mind always says no. So maybe that is definitely something that maybe even on like your checkout pages, maybe even on your Etsy listings, if there's any confusion with any aspect of any of your products, that's immediately going to cut conversions in half, because a confused mind never says no. So the same goes for social media, right? So what I want to do is I want to go through some tips and some things that I want you guys to try this week. Okay, so the first thing is I want you to open your last 3 posts, and I want you to read just the first line of each caption. Okay, now, would a stranger instantly know what you sell and who it's for? Okay, would a stranger instantly know what you sell and who it's for? Okay, so let me know. You can get it up on like another screen, have a little look, but like, give me a score out of 10 for your last three posts. Would a stranger instantly know just from the first line of the caption what it is that you sell and who it's for? Because that's a very important thing. Let me just drop the if you're watching on Instagram, if you comment fix my socials, I'm going to send you the automatic link. Is it beneficial to prep post stories, etc., and schedule them out for the week/month? Yes, it is, for sure. Yes. You definitely want to batch things. I tend to batch all of my stuff 2 to 4 weeks ahead of time. So the email, for example, if you're on my list, if the email you read this morning, I actually scheduled that out. What are we? I've got my little calendar. We are the 28th. I scheduled that out on the 14th. So if that gives you some kind of insight into how I do it, but it is really, really good to like batch it up. So open your last three posts, read just the first line of each caption. Would a stranger instantly know what you sell and who it's for? If not, try starting your next caption a little something like this. If you love, and in this little blank space, I want you to put your audience's identity, then this is for you. So for example, if you love cozy book nooks, this is for you, right? So just try that, okay? Just do exactly like, you can copy and paste that, you can steal that, but just try, if you love blank, this is for you. Just try that on one of your next 3 posts, and just see like if it's really calling out that person that particular thing is for. All right, so the next thing is using the so that trick. Okay, so this is, instead of just saying what it is, this is a new badge, this is a new candle, this is a floral wreath, you need to add why the person should care. Why does it matter? So for example, you've got here cozy soy candles so that your evenings feel calm, quiet, and warm again. Okay, personalized baby blankets so you can give something meaningful, not mass produced. Because the problem is that I feel like a lot of the time we are desperately posting our products out because we're just like wanting to keep up on this hamster wheel of, you know, getting something out there, right? But the issue is that we need to know, and we need to get across why the person looking at that picture should care. Okay, because people need to be there for them, if that makes sense. People are only following you because they themselves have some kind of invested interest in what you're posting. So call that out, give them a reason to. Okay, and the next thing and the last thing here is try this particular, like, oh, hang on, I've lost my spot. Here we go. Here we go. So you're not trying to impress everybody, you're trying to speak clearly to the one person who's more likely to buy. So that's the next tip, right? And the third tip in like section 1 of this is that I really want you to instead of thinking of the masses when you're creating a post, and I think in some way that does often make us kind of feel, oh, okay, like I don't want to say this in case I'm judged, I don't want to say that in case I offend anybody. I mean, I'm not saying like to show up on your post and deliberately be offensive, but you know, if you're saying, oh, I don't want to like put calling all mamas in case you upset someone or you repel a certain person, if that's your target audience, you should be calling that out. Okay, so when you're creating your posts, think of one person. Don't think of the masses. Think of one person, like one person who is your target audience, who is that perfect embodiment of, okay, this is the perfect person who I'm trying to reach, and speak directly to them. Name them if you want to. Say, hey, this is Jenny and Jenny likes this, or hey, this is Craig and he loves that. So don't try not to be like, I need to post something promoting something to get something for my business, is basically what I'm saying. You have to be really specific using the so that trick. You have to also make sure that you're calling in the ideal person. So this is where I said making sure that your captions are calling out, is this for them or not? And you also want to make sure not to impress everybody, be extremely specific. So does that make sense? Before I move on to like the second bit of this, is that making sense? Sorry, my neighbor's cat was in the garden, so I just had to get Ash out to shoo it back over again. Because the robot lawnmower is out and it does really frighten animals. Sometimes we had a squirrel in the other day, and like it was like sat on the lawn, and the robot lawnmower went out, and this poor thing was just like, oh. If you've missed anything, feel free to watch the replay. This will be on the replay, so directly afterwards I'm going to upload it to Reel, so if you want to rewatch anything you can. Yes. My target audience requires compassion, empathy, and a sensitive approach. Great. So if you know that, then I would say, if you are someone who feels the feels, if you are an empath, if you quite often feel yourself with your heart on your sleeve, like using words like that, you know. So section 2 of this is really talking about how a lot of people overcomplicate socials or try to copy people who aren't in the same niche. So let's have like a real honest hands up as to how many of you have looked at someone else on social media. It doesn't have to be a competitor, it doesn't have to be someone who is in your niche, but how many of you have actually like looked at someone else and thought, oh, I'm going to do like a similar thing, right? Let's have like a raise of hands. Yes, makes sense, but I'm putting all 3 ideas in one post. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Anna. I'm putting all 3 ideas in one post, but am I putting all? Yes, you are. Yeah, so all those 3 things that I said, they're not necessarily ideas, they're 3 things that you need to make sure you do. They're not like 3, oh, try this idea, try that idea. No, they're all 3 things that every post should have. Yeah. So hands up. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I'm getting lots of like hands up. Yes, I've done it. Now the issue with that is that it can be really hard to implement someone else's style without it feeling very, very weird very, very quickly, right? So like if you see someone doing like a trending thing and you're like, oh, that's a bit odd, they don't normally do trending things, or I see someone doing this, or I see someone doing that, sometimes it can feel a little bit weird, right? But I see a lot of people who are amazing at what they do, and they get stuck trying to almost replicate influencer style content and wondering why people are turned off. And you know, the maker is sat there thinking, okay, but this person did it and it did well for them, like I've done it and it hasn't done well. It's mainly because when you do stuff like that isn't authentic to you, you're breaking that trust, you're breaking that almost like that connection that you have with that one person, because they followed you for a very specific reason. They followed you because they vibed with you, they had some kind of connection with you, right? And when you start to kind of post very, you know, weird way outside the box kind of stuff, people immediately start going, oh, okay. So a quick tip here, and I've got 3. Okay. So my tip number 1 is to ditch the filler, ditch the fluff, ditch the BS that no one really cares about. Right. So there are 3 types of content that I see that often gets more likes than sales. And that is aesthetic flat lays that look very pretty, but they have no explanation behind it. And I see a lot of that going on where, you know, you'll go on to like, I don't know, a product based feed, and you'll look and it'll be like, yeah, lots of lovely pictures. And actually, like, if I'm calling a specific brand out, I think Pandora do this a lot. They have a very aesthetic feed, but no calling me out, no kind of bringing me in, nothing, like nada. It's all very pretty and professional and aesthetic, but I very much doubt that their posts are getting them sales, to be quite honest with you. And if you want to go and have a look, go and look at Pandora's Instagram, because you'll see exactly what I mean. And they get a lot of like spam comments and a lot of bot comments and stuff on there, which instantly says to me that they're not getting a lot of real engagement. But and I also see a lot of like happy Monday posts with like nothing going for it. It's just happy Monday. That's it. There's no like story in the caption. There's no explanation as to why you're posting it. It's just very much like happy Monday. That's it. Right. Or you get vague captions like new in store, or I made a thing, or do you like this, that are just, like I said, are just extremely vague. So instead of those things, you should be aiming for content that shows your product being used or worn in some way, shape, or form, names the buyer or problem that it's designed for. So don't be like vague, oh, here's this new thing that I've made. No. Like, actually, like, what is it for? What does it do? And actually call that person in. Be very specific, literally as if you are explaining it to someone who is like 5, and you hand them this thing and they're like, why? Why? What's it for? Like, literally explain it to them. If you hate buying overpriced water when you're out and about, try this like stainless steel vacuum bottle that's basically bulletproof. You will have it for years, like something along those lines. I literally pulled that out of my bum, but you know what I mean. Or you could include a story or context around why someone might want that particular product. So my favorite way to kind of ease yourself into this is to tell a story about the product. Why did you make it? What made you kind of vibe with that color or that style or what have you, right? So that is filler content. Things like the flat lays, the happy Monday post, the vague captions, that's filler stuff. That's the kind of content that you post when you know you should post something, but you're kind of not really, you might as well just kind of go, okay, well, I'm just not going to bother. Like, it's definitely something that I do see a lot of. And I say to people, are you consistent on socials? And they say, yeah. And I go, okay, great. And I look and I'm like, okay, you're showing up, which is half the battle for sure, but your content is not really pulling people in, right? Ria says, might be a daft question, but if you're nurturing phases with posts, what are good calls to action? Ria, we're going to be covering that on day 1 of the Fix Your Socials challenge. I would definitely say to join that, because we're going to be like, you know, doing the teaching part, the workshopping part. Yes, for sure. I would join that. Do people read the words associated with static posts? Is it worth taking the time to craft interesting words? Yes, for sure. Main reason, well, there's 2 reasons. A, if your image is just an image and there's no text in the image, or there's no carousel, people will go to the caption to read more context around it. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, to be honest with you, hashtags are no longer really a thing. You can still use up to 5 and it's fine. Like, I've been testing this for years, like adding them, taking them away. But the thing with having like a deeper caption, a longer caption, is that to get your SEO ranking, and as you know now, in Instagram posts are now actually ranked on Google. If you didn't know that, I do actually have a free guide that I can pop in the comments for you. If you want that, let me know. Just say yes, please, and I'll pop it in the comments. But basically, what that means now is that your caption on all of your posts, you should have a long caption full of naturally sprinkled in keywords, because that almost kind of replaces the hashtags. Okay. Yes, please. Okay, cool. Let me find it. It's going to be a Google Drive link. So you guys on Instagram are going to have to like find a way to copy and paste it. Sorry, but that's the only way I can do it. Let me find it real quick. Ranked on Google. I'm trying to go into my Google Drive to find it, but I cannot. So let me, I know we definitely did one because it went nuts on socials. It went viral, and I need to find it now. Q score, not the Q score one. Free guide. Here we go. Show up without new features. Autumn, free download, standout. New Instagram update. This will be it for sure. Here we go. I found it. Right, here we go. I'm going to pop it in the comments. There we go. And then I'm going to pop it in. Is this in the SMS? Yes, it should be. If it's not, if you pop a comment in the group, I'll pop it in. I'll tell you what I'll do real quickly. I'll pop it in. Tell you what, guys, for all of you who want the Google Doc, send me a DM that just says, hey, can you send me the Google Doc that you mentioned in your live? Thanks. And I will send it over. I've put the link in the chat, but you guys on Instagram who might not be able to copy and paste it, it might be a bit of a pain in the ass. It might be a clickable link. I don't know. I don't want to click away in case it stops the live for whatever reason, but basically that was the thing, is that all of your posts from the 10th of July, your public reels, posts, photos can now be found on search engines. So yes, you need to be using all of that to say you need to be using a long I won't say long, but a decent sized caption full of keywords, right? Alrighty, Roo. So the second tip is try this format. Okay, instead of putting posts like look at what I made, like look at this new thing, newness in the Etsy shop, or try doing something like this. This was inspired by insert story that your bio relates to here. I know it feels to challenge. I know how it feels to insert challenge, and this is why I made this. Let me just pop that in the comments again, because I feel like I messed that up. It's really hard to like speak. So use that. I'm just going to pop it in the comments. Oh, the leather store says highlight, copy and paste and works fine. And yarns about yarn. I just said, if you want to DM me and just say, can you send me the link? I'll do it afterwards. But you can highlight and copy and paste it, and it should work fine. So if you use that, so this was inspired by real emotion / story your buyer relates to. I know how it feels to insert their challenge. So can you see how it's like specifically calling in that particular person? And the last little tip that I really wanted to say is that you need to have an anchor question to ask before each post. So your anchor question is this, right? So I'm going to pop it in the comments. There you go, just so you have got it. And that is, if someone landed on this post and knew nothing about me, would they know, number one, what I sell, number two, who it's for, and number three, what to do next? In fact, if you want to forget everything else that I've said throughout this entire live, and you just like want one major thing to take away, it's that, and it is the anchor question. So if someone landed on this post and knew nothing about me, would they know what I sell, who it's for, and what to do next? If the answer is no, you need to join the Fix Your Socials challenge, because to be quite frank, we need a little bit more of like a digging deeper. It's completely free. So if you are new, if you're just coming across me, if you're watching on Instagram, if you drop the phrase "fix my socials," I will automatically send you the link. But yes, that is definitely something that we want to fix. Okay, so the anchor question, if the answer is no to any one of those, we need to fix it. Won't let me copy. No, it should be a clickable link. So if you're watching on Facebook, which you are, it should be a clickable link. So all you do is you just click the blue link and it will take you there. It's only if you're watching on Instagram where it might be a bit of a pain in the ass. But if you send me a DM, I can send you the link afterwards. Yes. So I hope that was helpful. Give me like a little thumbs up as to what your like aha moment was, because that'll be helpful for like my next lives, when I know, okay, like people like this, they like me talking about this, they want to know more about this, yada yada yada. So what was your aha moment? And also as well, don't forget that Fix My Socials week, we're starting in 2 weeks, which is like really not a long time. It's a completely separate pop-up group, so you need to make sure that you join the Facebook group. The link will be sent to you when you join. Yeah, so it's going to be definitely something that is worthwhile signing up to, especially if you are finding your socials are finding, you're finding it quite hard and you're not getting results. And like you hear me talk about socials and you're like, yeah, but I kind of need it, like everything you're saying all in one spot so I can just kind of do it. Anchor question, yes. So Lee, I put it way up in the comments. I think you're a little bit delayed. I'll pop it in again, but it should literally be just a case of a copy and paste link. And I know it works because I've got like about 20 people on my Google Drive at the moment viewing. So it must be working. So there you go. I've just popped the link in again. But basically it's going to be really, really good now that your posts are found on Google, but it just means you need to tweak them up a bit, especially the captions. Brisha says the tips make sense. Have a mini examples. Yes. Sea to Sky says anchor question. Yes. The anchor question. Yeah, the anchor thing is really, really good. It's really helpful learning how to target a specific audience and posting in order to speak to them. Yeah. I'd really say as well, if you are struggling with that, with the whole notion of like your ideal audience and all that, just focus on one person. And it could even be like a celebrity. So a brand that I'm working on right now, our perfect person is Phoebe Buffay from Friends. I know that sounds bizarre. I love Friends, massive fan, have always been a fan ever since I was like a wee little one. But for me, Phoebe Buffay is my person. And whenever I'm writing any kind of copy, any kind of social media, creating website pages, creating images, like I'm always thinking of Phoebe Buffay. So even if you are like someone who you can't kind of imagine a made up person in your mind, use a real person. That's often really, really helpful. The anchor question and the hashtags, yes. And if you are worried about the whole hashtag thing, experiment with using different hashtags. Try 5, try 20, try 30, and just see. But for me, I've always found that having 5 or less, or to be honest, in some posts I don't even have any, but having the longer caption has always worked really, really well. And my last question is, who am I going to see in the Fix Your Socials week? Let me know. Give me like a little hands up. Yes. Yes, I will be there, because we get started in 2 weeks, so it's not a lot of time. And every single day as well, like the Fix Your Socials group is really, really good and it's popping off. And we have about half of the people who've joined the chat. In fact, I think we've have 2,500 people, who've joined the challenge, which is insane. I think about 700 people have joined the group. So don't be like, don't see the group with like only 700 members and think, oh, well, not a lot of people have joined, because literally we have like 2,000 plus people joined. And then we get like an influx of people joining the group like a few days before. But every single day I'm actually posting questions and getting to know you. So actually, yes, although we're 2 weeks out, there's so many people making friends in the comments and finding followers and new buyers, and it's really, really cool. Loads of people saying, yes, I'm going to be there. Awesome. Amazing. So last thing, if you are watching on Instagram, if you drop the phrase fix my socials, I will send you the link. If you're watching on Facebook, you've got a nice little clickable link in there. But for now, my love, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you 2 seconds. I'm going to see you next week. I just need to make sure of the title before I start. So next week with the 4th of August, I can't quite believe it, and we're going to be having a nice chill handmade business Q&A. So ask me anything. It can be what's my favorite color, what kind of tea do I like, all the way to how do I write descriptions, what should I post this thing, etc. Literally come along, Q&A, ask me anything you want. Nice and chill for me, because all I need to do is turn on the camera and just sit there like waiting for your questions. So it's very, very chill. All right, and my lovelies, thank you so much, and I will see you all real soon. Bye everyone.